Dave Roberts, 11th season as a Dodger manager, is now joining us. He just signed that new contract. So last year when we talked, there was constant drama with the bullpen. It was season-long Band-Aids and Bondo and just trying to patchwork it. Then you go get Edwin Diaz, so it kind of changes, not the culture, but the psychology. Take me to now, you go into the ballpark, you're already there for tonight's game, knowing you've got a closer. How does it change how you manage?
It does. I think it's one of those things that, with whether it's any type of leadership, CEO, business, managing a baseball team, you sort of go with what you have, assess it, and then you kind of try to make the most of it, right? And I think that we really didn't have a defined closer last year, and so we were trying to find spots for Tanner Scott, different guys, and then there was injuries, there was performance, and you're just trying to figure out how to get 27 outs. But yeah, now you get Edwin Diaz, who left money on the table to come to Los Angeles, to come to the West Coast. And so now you can work from the back end and have your guy at the back end and then sort of fill in the gaps there. So it's huge, man. And he's a very business-like guy, Colin. He just wants to do his job, close to his family, and then just wanted to be a Dodger. So huge get for us.
Kyle Tucker's interesting. In Chicago, he frustrated fans because he's kind of just comes to the ballpark and plays. He's not, not a big personality. And, in Chicago, Wrigleyville, it's like, watching English Premier League soccer. It's rowdy. It's wild. Everybody's lubricated. I kind of think his personalities works in L.A. Let's talk about that on a star-studded roster, how he fits your culture.
I think he fits seamless. And I do think that you nailed it in the sense of his personality is just kind of put on the hard hat, go to work, and then do it again the next day. And so he doesn't do the self-promotion. He doesn't kind of do the crazy celebration antics. He just wants to play baseball. Just had a baby, so he's excited about that. And again, he left money on the table to play for the Dodgers. And then so when you're looking at Shohei, Freddie, Mookie, Will Smith, Yamamoto, some other guys we have, Blake Snell. I just think that, even for me, you're going to see him hitting second today, and that's what he's going to be doing at the outset and looking out beyond. And just get on base. We don't need you to slug, play good defense, run the bases, do you, and help us win baseball games. So I do think that this fit makes a lot of sense.
Dave, and it's certainly not a weakness, but it's something I thought about knowing you were going to come on the show today, is that listen, he's another big stick. I mean, if he hits 30 bombs for you, it wouldn't surprise me. But as you know, you can be as gifted as Freddie Freeman or Ohtani and struggle in the postseason because the pitching's so good in the postseason. Do you worry about with this team that you have so much power? Does it hurt your ability to manufacture runs without, like I said last night, the Yankees had 9 singles. I said Aaron Judge was 0 for 5. I'm like, that's actually, in a weird way, encouraging. Do you worry that, man, we got a lot of big sticks. Can we still manufacture runs? Do you think about that?
You know what? I do. And I think that was more of an indictment probably on teams that we had a few years ago, in the sense of we just slug and we can't get hits. And it's interesting that, the batting average has been devalued over let's say the last 10 years. But when you get into the postseason, people want base runners. They want to get hits. And how do you drive in a run when you're facing the best pitching? And I will say this, is that our guys, to a man, know how to get on base. They control the strike zone, and they know how to get hits. And so that's talking about getting a hit, with 2 strikes, with guys in scoring position with 2 outs, facing good pitching, knowing how to hit the outfield grass. And so I don't worry about that with this ball club. And I'll tell you this right now is 1 through 9, it's a relentless lineup. And so that pitcher is going to be at 100 pitches in the 4th, 5th inning. And that's a grind. So I think that with our lineup, we should be able to get to starters and get to the pen early and see how it goes. So, yeah, I'm not too worried about, just a slug, because I do feel we can manufacture runs if we need to.
With Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani, do you have a game plan going in, or is it one of those, we're just going to communicate? We're going to see how he feels? You've got essentially a player that does something nobody else does. How do you manage it opening day on? Do you have to be super communicative in this relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. So he's going to start the 5th game of the season, and he's already up to 85 pitches. So I think for me, as far as managing the game when he pitches, we're going to manage it. I'm going to manage it the way to help us win a game, and obviously manage his stress in a particular game, the pitch count, all that stuff. And then as far as the hitting, last year we started out with him with throwing 1 inning and then repeating that a couple of times to then build to 2, then 3. So it didn't really impact the DH role, where now the jumping off point is 5, 6 innings. So that's something we're going to monitor and see that we're not going to be beholden to like he has to DH every time he pitches. We'll kind of manage that, see how he feels. But yeah, there's constant communication going on. But man, what a player!
Yeah. What was your opening message in spring for this group of star-studded Dodgers? What is the coming off back-to-back titles? Can you have a new message? What is the message?
Yeah, some of it is like, the old, continuing to reinforce that. Our guys do a very good job of minding the little things, and I think it's just the whole idea of just winning a baseball game. And whether it's spring training, it's Game 7 of the World Series, it's opening day in 2026. We have a certain standard of excellence, and I think that even when you watch us, Colin, how we play the game, run the bases, play defense, it matters. How we practice. I think the message as far as keep the blinders on, get the blinders on, look forward. I reference a greyhound. When a greyhound's in a race, they're chasing the lure, and they're not looking at who the competition is to the side. And I think that the lure is right there, that trophy, and we're chasing that trophy, and it doesn't matter who's beside us, who's behind us, who's chasing us. And I think it's just more of just keeping the focus on ourselves.
Well, you've only got 2 trophies behind you when you just won your 3rd as a manager. Where's the 3rd?
Yeah, the 3rd. See, the trophies, they gotta come back. So I'm trying to move so you can see them. The 3rd one is en route. So I got 20, 24, 25 is en route. Tomorrow we'll get our 25 World Series rings. So hopefully we do this again in 12, 14 months, and then I'll have 4 behind me.
Okay, just cross your fingers on Amazon. You never know; they're usually on time. You just hope they deliver. It's great seeing you, and I know you got a little golf in, but you're just a credit to the sport, and you're a gentleman, and I love you coming on the show, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Dave.
I love what you do, man. Thanks for having me on.
You bet. Dave Roberts already in the office. They're heavy favorites to three-peat, and listen, man, that Edwin Diaz in the closing it for this team. That was we said it before, 26 saves last year. And think about that. You win a World Series. They went into the playoffs having blown 26 saves. So it was a Dodger fans. It's so funny because when the bullpen struggles, the manager gets all the heat.